What is up, everyone? This is going to be my patch 14.10 jungle tier list. We're going to go over all the changes that happen this patch, how it affects jungle, and what you should be playing if you want to climb and get free LP. So for starters, the categories S, S, A, B, C. C is just going to be, your general pool of just champs. Not really good, but also playable if you know how to play them. Right away, let's go into the S plus category. So S plus, Skarner still seems to be performing really well. I'm confused if it's because of how it's just such a one-trick jungler that once the one-tricks have played him so much, he's just performing very well. But also, I think he just brings a lot of utility in this kind of AD carry meta. I think frontline is actually very OP. I think if your champion can frontline while also, bringing CC and dealing damage and healing and absorbing damage, you're going to do a really good job in the current meta. And if you're able to do jungle camps fast while stacking objectives, you're going to have a really good time. And that's where I think Skarner kind of lays his position. So he's good. I don't know if I'll recommend him to be picked up. I think he'll get nerfed in the future, but he is doing really well in the current meta. Rek'sai, I imagine is going to get nerfed, if not the next patch, the one after. But I still think she's very good. Even if it's a slight nerf, she'll still be very strong. She's very good. In the same way Skarner is, she can build Bruiser and still tank a lot of damage, bring CC, knockups, damage, assassination, good ganks, good utility, good objective control, all these kind of key features that can really excel in the current meta, where there's a lot of just bot lane fights and objective fights and a lot of opportunity for early game aggressive junglers to make plays. So next we have Yi actually got some big changes, and these changes, in my opinion, don't seem that like big, but like it looks really big. And he got a lot of good stat changes: health growth, armor, attack damage growth, and attack speed growth. So attack speed growth is really big because it's going to give you much more bonus attack speed, as well as you're buying these Kraken Slayer items, Blade of the Rune King. It's going to help a lot on the Yi. So Yi, I personally think he's just really broken right now. I think the stats are just really good for his early game. He just scales really well now. His build path is really good too. I think the new Blade is actually really good on him, better than Kraken Slayer. You'd probably go Blade first into like Kraken or Rage Blade, and I think that's really good build right now. And yeah, I think the changes are really big for him, and he's really strong in the current meta. He probably gets some slight touch ups, but right now he's definitely doing really well. Next we have, who got changes on the patch, is Khazix. Khazix, you got a Q buff, the standard Q buff of 10 AD on his Q, and you're probably like, Inori, it's just 10 attack damage. It's just 10 AD. Not really, because it doubles when you use it on an isolated target. So it's 20, and it's 20 early game. So that's 20 level 1 on a 3-second cooldown, which is very broken. So Khazix is extremely good. His early game damage is really high. He's one of the best. Well, he is like the only assassin who's actually playable right now in high ELO kind of category. And he's just really performing well with the buffs. They also have lethality changes in the future, so I expect Khazix is going to have to get nerfs in the future patch. But I really don't like this change. They've done it before, where they give him that 10 AD on Q. Of course, he's OP again. I don't like it because I'd rather see them do some changes to his W. Like, I would love to see some more jungle monster clear speed buffs, so like increased damage to monster camps. I really feel like his clear just feels so bad. I don't care about giving Kha'Zix more damage. If they made his clear better, his W better against jungle camps, I think that would help a lot. I would much rather see that in a future buff instead of just playing seesaw with his Q damage going up and down. Next change, we have Taliyah. Taliyah is S tier still, even after the nerfs. I thought the Q damage nerf was going to affect her quite a lot, but it seems like she's still one of the best AP junglers right now. After the Karthus nerfs, it looks like Taliyah is performing extremely well. So Q damage went down, and it didn't really affect her, so she's still really good in the jungle, really good in mid, really good pickup for you to play as a jungler in the current meta. So if you like Taliyah, she's still a very strong jungler. Viego's next. Viego, in my opinion, he's a dirty dog, this champion. I really don't like playing against Viego. I see so many people abusing him right now. His items, I mean, Kraken got buffed in a way better for junglers, because movement speed is a really good stat for junglers. So now you can get to Kraken Slayer, you can build all these great items on Viego, and he's just overtuned. In my opinion, I just think he does too much damage. He synergizes too well with all these items, and I really think he's going to get nerfed soon, so I hope to God he does. Next, we have Bel'Veth. Bel'Veth didn't really have any changes, but I think Bel'Veth has a really nice build path with the new Kraken Slayer as well. I think the new one benefits a lot of these junglers, so I think she's in a really good spot with Viego abusing a lot of these nice items changes. So Xin Zhao is a very solid pick. I'm gonna have a Xin Zhao video for you guys soon. I personally like press attack with Titanic with the one tap combo on Xin Zhao. I've been utilizing it a lot. It's really fun, really strong, and I'll have a video on that later. But I think Xin Zhao is a really good champion right now, and he's kind of fulfills that frontline tanky, high damage, good CC champion, which is really important in this meta. Next, we have the A tier. So for A tier, Khazix was the one who got nerfed. His Q damage went down. And that's a big thing for Khazix because like Kha'Zix Q, it does more damage when the target is isolated. So he lost a lot of damage in jungle and mid lane. And he's still really strong because obviously there's still the combination of, Blackfire, Leandries. So he's still in a really good spot, but he's also kind of tamed down a bit. Lilia, not so nerfed because of the items, but she's still really good. So Lilia also a really good AP junglers. A lot of the AP junglers kind of, after the hotfix nerf, sat down a bit into the A tier. I think they're really good. I think all these AP junglers are, really strong ones. They're really good, very solid picks, really A tier material if you're looking for that kind of pick. And next we have tank junglers. We have tank junglers like Volibear and Zac. So I think tank junglers are really strong right now too. And I think a lot of these are just strong. You have like the super broken, like weird picks. Then you have like the solid tank junglers and AP junglers. And yeah, Sunfire with Zac and Volibear as well, building these great items. It seems really strong. I think if you're able to get a frontline champion in the jungle position, it really fulfills the comp fantasy where your comp is just really solid and you have a good time with that in your kit. And there is a few more changes I wanted to touch up on. Pantheon. So Pantheon's in C tier. I think he could be B tier. I tried him. He seems good. But my issue is I thought his E was going to be on the regular E where if you press it, you get bonus armor and armor. But it's actually only an empowered E. So that's not as great. But if you like Pantheon, if you want to play him, he's so much better than he was last patch for jungle. So he's like a solid like champion in solo queue if you want to play him now. He's really good. So if you do like that, you can easily play him. He's a solid pick now. Definitely not troll. Before I thought he was actually quite troll, but now seems like he's in a decent spot that you can definitely utilize. Mordekaiser got some nerfs over here. And yeah, it didn't help him in the jungle at all. He's actually worse now in the jungle. So unfortunately, Mordekaiser being a jungler is not really a thing right now. So that's just something you're going to have to live with, unfortunately. And yeah, last like a few things I want to touch up on is Briar. Briar, I actually think if you build the Cleaver into Blade the Rune King build I showed you in the last video, you're actually going to do really well on her. And I would put her in S category if you build correctly. But the problem is a lot of people doing lethality builds on her, doing really weird builds that really affect her win rate. But I don't think she's as low as she should be. But if she should be getting buffs in the future because of all the nerfs she received in the past. So that should be really good. So if you're a Briar player, you're going to be very optimistic because I expect her to get some buffs soon. So those are the changes. Hope you guys like the video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Good luck on the game. Good luck on the climb. And yeah, take care.